Good morning. So, change of plans. I was going to go on my walk and I can't. My dog is limping this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to give him a little break and just watch him as we go through the day. I don't know, I think he stepped on a blackberry or something, so we're probably okay. But trying to keep everything going here. So shifting gears a little bit, I am going to marinate my chicken. I forgot to do it yesterday. So I'm going to marinate my chicken, get a couple of my morning things together here, and then move on. Tonight for dinner, I'm making a Thai chicken vermicelli bowl, lemongrass marinated. I could not find lemongrass at the store. I was really bummed about it, but I made do. This recipe calls for a little bit of fish sauce, some lime juice, ginger, the lemongrass kind of Thai paste that I picked up at the store. I'll show that a little bit later. Some oil, just some general marinade ingredients. And I wanted to prep that. I like to do it the night before, but in this case I did it in the morning. And this is the paste that I picked up. And of course I didn't record any of dinner that night. So here's a picture of the vermicelli bowl when it was all done. And it was absolutely delicious. I also, at the start of the week, really like to make sure that I am filling my vitamin containers. I've had a couple of questions lately about whether or not I still take vitamins, whether or not you have to take them for the rest of your life. I am still taking vitamins somewhat religiously. I have noticed that I am in need of antacids in particular. They still are a problem for me if I don't take them. And my labs have always come back really, really good. So I've just been keeping with the same regimen. I try to get in a little bit of reading in the morning as well if I can. It's been a goal of mine to read a physical book in the morning, even if it's just a chapter. Okay, so it's breakfast time and I am trying to track my food again. I know that I've said on the channel that I wasn't going to do that anymore. And here's what I have learned over the past several months of not tracking my food. It doesn't not work for me in the sense that it is very freeing. I very much enjoy not having to think about it and just living my life. However, it only really allows me to maintain. What I have noticed is that I have not really gained or lost anything in my efforts to do that. And that's great if I'm ready to just maintain, but I'm not really. I would like to lose about the 30 pounds of regain that I have. And I would like to get back into just feeling a little bit more comfortable and a little bit less bogged down. I can feel those 30 pounds. It's not like the end all be all for me. It's not the most important thing, but it is something that I do want to work on, and was one of the goals of me quitting my job is to focus on my health. So I want to pay more attention to this stuff again. That being said, big caveat here is that if I start to notice that this is really difficult for me, I'm going to try to find some other way to do this. Tracking my food in the past has become very time consuming for me. It has become a huge focus in my life. It becomes more of a problem than anything else. Not always, but sometimes it just is over consuming. So I'm just going to give it a shot. I would like to see where I'm at with stuff. And in order to do that, and in order to see my calories and everything, I really need to start tracking it. So here's breakfast this morning. I have tracked it. I will show the macros after I show my breakfast. So if that's something that you don't want to see, you can just skip forward for that. So in addition to the protein shake that I had earlier this morning, I am having 4 ounces of cantaloupe. I bought this yesterday. Actually, I bought this a couple days ago, but I cut it up yesterday. So good, so juicy. These were on sale. I've had them a couple of times. I don't normally go for like just the pre-done protein yogurts. Usually for a cost reason, I'll just get a big thing from Costco that is, like plain Greek yogurt. But this was on sale and seemed really convenient, right? So I went ahead and grabbed the Yoplait protein, which is really nice because it's 15 grams and it's 100 calories. And then I have a little bit of challah bread left that we got at the store. So I just made a thin slice that I over toasted. It's really dark with a little bit of butter and a little bit of sugar-free raspberry jam on that. So this is the rest of my breakfast this morning after the protein shake. And so as for the macros, that is up on the screen right now. My total breakfast this morning is about 420 calories. So I'm feeling really good about that. I know myself, I know that this is plenty of food for me. I have a hard time eating too much in the morning, but I also, for that reason, will often skip breakfast. Not often. If I'm left to my own devices, I will get distracted with things and I won't eat breakfast and I'll just have my protein shake. I'm not going to get in a debate on my channel about intermittent fasting. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. Although I'm not super hungry and I can easily skip breakfast, I notice a change in myself and I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good to not eat something in the morning. So I feel like this is a really good approach for me. I wouldn't have even guessed how many calories it is. So it's nice for me to track that and get a better understanding. I got about 45 grams of protein just with the yogurt and the Premier Protein. So I'm going to go eat this. I have 30 minutes until my telehealth appointment, so I want to eat this first. I'll probably try to make a glass of tea and get moving on with the rest of my day. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours. I got a little distracted after my doctor's appointment and I was playing a video game on my computer for about an hour. You know what? That's okay. It was fun. So I am now finding myself actually pretty hungry, which I'm a little surprised about. Usually I'm not hungry right away, and it's only been a couple of hours since I've eaten. However, I ate, fairly healthy, and it was a fairly low calorie breakfast. I had a moderate amount of protein, but I don't know. I'm riding it, right? One of the things that I'm trying to recognize is to eat when I'm hungry and not eat when I'm not hungry. And so if I'm hungry, I'm going to have lunch. And it is 12:30, so that's reasonable. What I am doing today is I'm eating my leftover Chipotle salad. Yesterday, after our hike, we went and got Chipotle for lunch. And so this is not sort of a normal, I keep not putting myself in the frame. This is not a normal thing that I, normally eat or would be eating. This was sort of a special occasion after our walk. But I have half a salad left and I am not going to waste it. I'm not about wasting food. So what I did is I went through my app and I basically cut everything in half since I have half a salad. I am guesstimating at this point in terms of the calories and the macros, but I'm not going to be super concerned about it. I'm going to do my best at, estimating what that is and then move on with my life. That is the balance that I'm kind of seeking. So here is what's left of the salad. And they have this new honey roasted chicken that I added to my bowl. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chug this water bottle. I fill this up and I almost always set it aside and either forget about it or I take too long eating and drinking my tea in the morning that I don't get one of these down. It is super important to me that I am drinking more water. And so what I have been doing lately is if I haven't finished at least one water bottle by lunch, I am chugging that first. So I'm going to down this water bottle to make sure that I have that in my system. and then I'm going to eat lunch, and then I'm going to be really productive after lunch. I think because the weather is looking pretty nice, I'm going to go pick some cherries. I have a little bit of cleaning to do and stuff, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing in what order, but I know that the cherries are ripe, and I'm fighting with the animals if I leave them on the tree any longer. So I think that that's something that I'm going to prioritize doing after lunch. It's super frustrating when I can't get something to work right, and I had it in my head that I was going to do that today. So I thought that maybe I could finish hanging up the curtain rod hangers and put up my curtains. And I cannot for the life of me get this stupid thing to go into the wall. So I'm going to wait for my husband when he gets off of work to see if he can look to see if he can figure out why it won't work. Shouldn't be a problem. Maybe I need a bigger drill bit. I could try that, but I'm getting frustrated. So instead, what I am going to do is throw the curtains into the steam dryer for just a few minutes so that they can get unwrinkly, so that when we are ready to put them up, they will be ready to go. So I will do that, throw those in the dryer, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and go pick some cherries while I still can. I mean, if you look at the stuff that we can't reach, there are just so many cherries. I absolutely need to get this tree under control because I want those. Okay, so here's the haul. According to my camera, it was about 30 minutes. That's a lot. We have so many cherries. So here's what I got this round. This is what I got last weekend. Some of them are getting brown because they've been in the fridge for several days. So I want to get these pitted and in the freezer. But this is between the two. My husband said that they were ripe last weekend, so I went out to go pick some. And I said I think they really need like one more weekend. And yeah, these are much redder, much plumper, but there's such a short time frame that we can actually pick them. I'm usually fighting with the birds and the animals. There's, right when they're perfectly ripe, not only do they fall off the tree really easily, but all of the animals come and get them. And then, if you don't do it within a weekend or so, you're out of luck. So I think this may have been the sweet spot. I will continue to try to see if I can get some more out of it. But honestly, this is a really good haul. When I came inside, I also laid out my curtains. So I took all the curtains and laid them out while they were still warm so that they won't wrinkle quite so much, just shoved into the dryer. I've got all of my stuff ready to go for my other projects. So it's just a little bit of a mess in here, but it's coming together. So hopefully these will be ready to install today, tomorrow at the latest. It does feel really nice to have them ready to go. So I'm going to pit some cherries and try to at least get those in the freezer so that I can probably do something with them later. My best bet is to freeze them because otherwise we end up wasting them and I can never decide what to do. So I'm gonna get those in the freezer before I forget and before they get too old. I'm exhausted. This has taken so long. So long. But these are for eating, I guess. And that, I gotta put this away. So I've learned that I'm really bad at outros, and every single day that I have filmed something so far, I've just abruptly stopped. Moving forward, I will try to remember to film some sort of outro, but I might not, and my daily and weekly vlogs might just end. To give you some context, I work on things all the way up until my husband comes home, and then I just dive into hanging out with him. And sometimes we get productive things done, other times we don't. But I don't really like to film our evenings together, so a lot of times things just end. But thank you so much for watching and supporting me in getting my life together and getting things chipped away and done that I've been meaning to get done. My plans for the future and starting to build better, more sustainable habits. So, as always, remember to always look at the big picture, make good choices, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, sweetie. um, but, uh, but thank you so much for watching.